Hello survivors and welcome to another video. Today we are going to be playing on the Demon Hunter. We are going to be doing a couple of videos for him in the coming week. It's going to be one of each of his weapons and a build revolving around it. So to start off, we are going to be playing with his first weapon, which is called the Bloodbane's Crossbow. Gives us critical damage and cast frequency, and the skills that it starts off with are uncontrolled arrows, and then if you use weapon expert you get madness shot. Now we're not going to be playing on madness shot, we're going to be using the uncontrolled chaos for the uncontrolled arrows, for the disarray and the chaotic. We're then going to run bloodlust for the cast frequency and the movement speed, with Camel's arrow for fragility, Shadow Orb for Doom and Disoriented. We're again going to use Shadow Spark to proc the stacks of Doom for our big damage, and then we're also going to be running ourselves Spread Shot for the Dazed and Aptitude, and that's going to give us 2 projectile, 2 shadow and 2 chaos, so we can get all of those skill chains as well, which are going to work really well with the chaotic and the low cooldown of most of the skills. So let's get straight into it. The runes are going to be pretty simple. It's reroll mastery with some farming runes. We don't have to use any other skills because the character has everything. We're also kind of testing how well the performance updates work with projectile builds like Shadow Orb, so we're going to see what happens there. We're then going to be running Synergetic, Divine Legacy, Battle Proficiency, and Extended Magazine as well. Alright, I think I didn't have, so I've been testing some things that required a lot of visual changes, unfortunately, so you can't see anything when you get really low cooldown on this build, so we might be changing that in the future. We might have to turn the visuals down, unfortunately, especially if we want to survive, because we're going to see how far we can push this build. And it's not going to just be oh, let's do a single run and call it a day. Nope, we're going to see if we can at least get to Overlord 6+. Again, this isn't max difficulty, but there is no real reason, unless you're like fully testing a build, to try and get it to do max difficulty, max curse, because you don't get any more rewards. So if I'm here, I'm using farming mats, I just want certain materials. Why must I suffer through more difficult times? This build doesn't have your brittle, shattered, or exposed, so the bosses will be a lot more tanky than they necessarily have to be. Now, while we're playing on the Demon Hunter, there are a couple of things. Firstly, Demonic Blessing, you're only going to get about 5 of them in total. So if you're lucky enough to get 5 of them, then there is a cap. There is also a cap on the cast frequency, the uncommon upgrade for his passive. I will show you which one I'm talking about when we find it, but those are going to be capped. So if you're not going to find them after a certain percentage of time. So don't think, oh no, well, why am I not finding it after you've got so many? It's actually meant to be that way. There is a certain cap. Something I never actually knew about, but Midori on the Discord kind of figured it, and we did get confirmation from Alan about it, who's the head developer, that some of the ascensions like the assassin and things like that, where it increases the stats, the multiplicative damage stat for that character, those stats do have limits to them. So if you do find a certain amount of the cards, eventually you'll stop seeing that card show up. In case you've ever noticed that, and you're like, hey, how come I can't find that card anymore? Well, it's because it's actually never going to be there. So you've hit the cap. Alright, so we're just going to grab those. Lovely skill there, but we do have a build for that already. We've got a build for this coming as well, so we don't have to worry about that. We can grab, what are we waiting for? We're waiting for the Camel's arrow. So we'll just grab this for the meantime. And then we're going to put, actually we can just re-roll. There we go, there it is. That's all of our skills done and dusted, very easy. We don't need burn, so we're going to remove that. We do need the doom over there, and then this as well. And then critical strike, and then everything that's going to be cast frequency for all of the other skills, as well as damage and multicast for Shadow Spark. Now, as you can see, for our ascension, we have to kill enemies in that circle, and we summon these demonic monsters. What happens is we gain stats per however many we have summoned at that time. Again, multiplicative, we did speak about it during the video yesterday. But as you can see over here, usually it's 8% damage modifier. It just went up to 10% because of the damage card that we got, the rare card. I usually only find one in my runs. I've been very unlucky. I haven't really been able to find more than one. It would be nice to pick up 2 or 3 of them just to get that damage number up. And then you do get a cast frequency, not a cast frequency, but a frequency card that's uncommon, and you can only find 5 of them in total. So you get 50% increased frequency of the ascension showing up. Disarray to bleed will be really, really good for another build. Not for right now. We need some cast frequency over there. And then over here, we are going to reroll because we're looking for these over here where we get skill chains. So there we go. We're looking for those skill chains. We get the Doom upgrades. We want cast frequencies and multicasts, but this is looking good. There's another one, projectile to chaos. We do want disarray, but over here actually crit is more of a priority there, and we're going to grab the magnetic over here for the increased XP gain and XP range. I like to have at least like 170 XP, but overall we take damage and other things like that over XP, of course. Uncontrolled arrow looks really, really cool. I do love the visuals of it. You guys can let me know what new skill you've played, if you have played on the alpha, because that's what we're playing on. But let me know what skill that you are, if playing, what skill you really like and why. I like a lot of them, mostly the like twin shot, I think it's called, one of the new ones, as well as his new buff and things like that. But most of the new skills actually have these bats that get left on when they are used, so I really like that additional effect that he has. Also yesterday we spoke about how when you are playing with the character he gains 2 wings. I know you can't really see it very well here, but you can see he does have 2 wings on the character right now compared to in his, visuals when you're playing with him. We don't need the damage over there, so we're going to reroll. Ooh, beautiful skill chains there. Crit chance is beautiful. Which one do we need? We need the crit chance over here so that we can increase these. We don't need the shadow crit chance, so there we go. And we should start grabbing some. Oh, there we go. So the demonic bindings, there we go. Increase the frequency in which the chain demon spawns. This can only go up to 50%, so it's really nice that we at least got one so we can show you. But this should be quite a decent run into the Overlord cycle, so I'm sure we will get many of them to be able to show you anyway. And even though we just started, or I mean I guess 4 minutes into the run, you can see we're already on 800 plus critical damage. We don't have to worry about crit chance because we are going to get it from those like reinforced cards and things like that, so we don't really have to worry about it. It's going to come naturally, and we just need to worry about staying alive and killing as many things as quickly as possible. Okay, potency, ooh, that's good. Double skill chain over there. 1 second cooldown already on the Shadow Spark. We do need more potency on our Bloodlust as well as cast frequency on it because, well, we've only got a couple. 15 seconds, so that 5-second gap is quite bad. However, we don't have to worry about the cooldown so much more than we have to worry about getting skill chain. If we get a projectile to chaos or we get a shadow to chaos, we are going to always have Bloodlust available regardless of the cooldown on it, because we're going to continuously reapply it with skill chain, and that's going to give us that regardless of whatever the cooldown is for the skill. So there is that as well. There's like 2 ways to look at it, but there we're going to go for aptitude. There's the beautiful potency. There is shadow to chaos as well, damage on the Shadow Spark. We don't actually need Leviathan, and because we are running battle proficiency, as soon as we get the aptitude to prowess, because we have the second source of prowess in our runes, we do get the prowess to resilience as well. And then also you're thinking, but we don't have a second source of aptitude broken, how are you even getting aptitude to prowess? Well, that's because in the skill tree of the demon hunter, he has a chance of applying disarray as well as aptitude on hit. So there is that chance, which means he has a chance for disarray. So you'll find disarray cards in his passive always, and then you'll always have, as long as you have one aptitude skill, you'll have the aptitude to prowess, and then we just running battle proficiency, which gives us the other prowess stack. Therefore we can go to prowess and resilience, which is pretty good for defenses. At least we don't take those hard hits like you would on a character that doesn't have armor. So at least we get that extra armor. It's really, really cool. Very, very helpful. Get rid of that. Multicasting, great. Crits, perfect. Don't need the damages. Yeah, we'll go for the block there. Disarray, we're going to go for the damage increase. Does that give us... Yeah, damage increase was fine. Block, magnetic, armor. Beautiful. And then what do we want here? I think we'll go for crit chance. The damage is okay, but crit chance is probably better. Yeah, we'll go crit. With the fact that this character works a lot on crit damage, getting your crit chance very, very high and being able to crit multiple times means much more for us than that little bit of damage we would have got. Also, we have prowess as well, so we don't necessarily have to worry about damage upgrades, although it does help, but we've got that prowess in the background to increase our overall damage anyway. Alright, going for skill chain there. We're going to grab a little bit of the armor, grab the damage upgrade again for our beautiful bloodlust. That's going to help us. And then we always reroll this. There's projectile 2. That we also grab the... actually, we're going to banish this because this is... that's magical and physical. Everything else is physical. So we're actually going to get rid of this magical damage. We're not going to lock you. We're going to banish you. And then this is for magical as well. This one might be useful, especially for the Doom and Disoriented, so we'll keep that actually. There's more skill chain. We don't need the damage, so we're going to reroll there. Get the Doom, get the armor. Do you know what would have been really cool as an Ascension? We are a demon hunter, so it's kind of like an oxymoron in a sense that it's kind of weird. Like we summoning a demon to help fight for us, but we're a demon hunter. You know, does that you know, it's like kind of a, what is the word I'm trying to think, like an oxymoron or like a paradox or whatever you want to call it, some fancy English word. But it's kind of like the opposite. We're supposed to be hunting them, not summoning them. So it would have been fun if instead of us summoning one, it did something similar to the assassin, where we had to kill a demon, or, you know, let it be locked up there and we kill it, or whatever the case may be, and then we suck on, or you know, get stats based on the demon that is killed. So that would have been an interesting one. I think that would be quite fun to have had in the game, but that's just my own personal preference. Area of Effect of Chaos does actually do something for us. I know because it affects our allies, that means it's going to affect our artifact power, but it's also going to affect our ascension, so we can get a little bit of area. I'm not going to put a lot of points into it, maybe 1 or 2, but it does actually make a difference. So do keep that in mind with Bloodlust specifically, or any of the buffs that affect allies. As long as you have a summon or an artifact power that gives you a summon, or even if you're playing Houndmaster and you have the hounds, then you are going to use the area of effect on the buffs. We've got 4 of the skill points to use. Grab all that cost frequency, some life, and armor. Stat-wise, armor's on only... ooh, that's really low. But we're on 1,000 crit damage, which is really good. And a decent chunk of damage. Our crit chance is very low. We are going to have to work on that though. But I mean, I have to get the cards first. But I mean, you can see how quickly we just destroyed all of the things in the cycle 1. Next cycle, we are sitting over here at 8 minutes. I didn't really look at the time. I think it said it'll take till 9 minutes or something till we finish this cycle. So the faster we go, the further we can go as well. We want to see how far we can reach in 20 minutes. And then I'll just either kill myself or do something with regards to the game. That's already the second set of bosses. We don't have any healing, so we do have to rely quite heavily on HP, on our what's the wording I'm thinking of, on our block and armor. Over here we get the chaos and we get the shadow and projectile. That's beautiful. Increase our armor. We can then get both of these because that's quite a decent amount of damage. Don't need damage there. We can go for crit multi, cast frequency, grab both of these as well. It might be better to drop efficient extraction and get ourselves the endless lock, endless refill. Grab that. Endless refill will allow us to lock more things, because eventually we're going to get to a point where we might re-roll and get like a double skill chain and not have any locks. And then we're going to be in a bit of trouble with regards to decision making. It's not really a problem. I think I know what I would go for, but it's better to not have to make the decision and just lock both of them if possible. Area of effect, again, we're going to grab one because it does affect Camel's arrow. And the larger the area of effect, the better for us, because that is going to be causing fragility. And then we can go and grab even more cast frequency here, more doom stacks. That's beautiful. And so far, performance-wise, this has been fantastic. Cast frequency, damage increases, skill chain, more magnetism. Next set of bosses are gone. We just got a couple more to go for the cycle. Well, actually 4 more, so double couple. Crit, that's what we want. More skill chain, beautiful. More skill chain, even better. More cast frequency, fantastic. I do like to take spread shot over frag shot. I think frag shot might be more of a performance killer as well, because it does split the projectiles after they've hit an enemy. So I think it might be better, but I don't actually know. It would need testing in terms of damage and that, but we're not really using it for damage. We're using it for dazed and aptitude, and the fact that it's on a 0.2 second cooldown already means that it's better than the frag shot, especially if we don't have things like bloodlust or anything like that. So having the skill that has a lower cooldown definitely helps, especially with skill chaining. Look at bloodlust. Like I mentioned before, we didn't have to worry about cast frequency on it. You can see it's permanently up, and that's because of skill chain. That's probably one of the easiest way to see how well skill chain is working if we're not using the dev tool like we did the other day in a video, which will also be done in the description in case you missed it, which I think a lot of you did miss. But yeah, we got a dev tool. We got the developers to show us how a 300% skill chain looks like, because if we're playing a game like this one that you can see, we're only going to get to about maybe 100% if we're lucky, but most of the time we get to about 70% with a decent RNG. If you're playing with singular focus, you can get to about 100 and something odd percent quite quickly, but you've got a whole lot of things happening around you, so it's very difficult to see how well it's actually working. So we got the developer to give us a video of what it looks like, and we were able to see just how it works in general with 300% skill chain, just as an example, which is pretty cool of them. Put the damage there. Damage, we don't need area of effect anymore, I don't think. We'll just grab some block, disarray, armor, aptitudes, prowess is good, more doom, disarray, fantastic. We're getting some good crit with disarray. We actually need more crits. I still don't have 100% crit chance, so that's not good. However, I don't even think crit to disarray is necessary because we've got the disarray on our uncontrolled arrows. We've got disarray on hit from our passive in our skill tree. There's a lot of disarray already. I'm not sure if we needed it. Well, I mean, we need it because the more disarray we apply, the more damage we can do. Is always best. We're looking at the chaos one was actually quite high. We could lock it once and see if we get a double. We do, so we'll grab both of them. That's perfect. Now imagine this. This is on a 0.2 second cooldown. There's also a 50% chance that every time we're using another skill that we've got a projectile. So every time we use a shadow skill, there's also this that could be going off as well. So along with the 0.2 second cooldown that it has, it is also multicasting. It is also getting chaotic chaining. It's also getting skill chaining. There's a lot going on over here. Very complicated in terms of how it interacts with everything, and it's just really, really fantastic how the game still performs really well with all those interactions running through it. Obviously YouTube's bitrate's a bit whack, and that's just visuals. If I turned the visuals down, I think it would look a little bit better. But in terms of you know, how the game actually plays, and I mean, look at that, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them all casting at the same time, and we've only got 84% cast frequency on them. So I mean, multicast chance. So that definitely skill chained over there, along with probably a multicast, whatever the case may be. But that's also helping us apply a whack ton of disoriented onto the bosses and all of the enemies, and that's going to allow us to crit more, to deal more crit damage, and just more overall damage total because we're critting. So even if we focused all of these orbs in a single direction, that's going to help us kill the bosses a whole lot faster. There we go. There was a boss down here somewhere. There we go. So if we just focus on the bosses, then we can kill them a lot quicker, but we don't have to focus on them. There's more. Oof, that's so good. Let's see, block chance, cast frequencies. We don't really need the damage for it, but it does increase the doom. I should have actually rerolled there. I want to try. How much resilience are we getting? We need more. This is 0.2 seconds. Trying to think how we could get more resilience onto the build. The only way is by attacking more, but we kind of capped at how much we can attack with we'll just need more stacks, that's all. Area of effect, that's for like everything. I think we need more. Okay, merciless is good. There's another frequency upgrade for our ascension, that's also really good. We need more to prowess. I think we need more prowess, and then we'll get more damage. We'll also get more resilience from it. So we need more aptitude to prowess cards. Focus on the 2 laser beams. There's more skill chain, that's beautiful. I think we can actually, I think stopping at 70% might be fine. I'm not sure. This is on 0.6 seconds. We are going to just use a lock here. 0.6 second. I don't think we have enough doom stacking, to be honest. I think we need more doom. Yeah, actually we have a lot of projectile to shadow as well, so we must be skill chaining quite a lot, especially with the 0.2 second cast frequency on our projectile skill. Make it to 6, it's alright. I think there are ways to get this to be slightly better. I don't see Camel's arrow used to have a blue circle around it. It looks like they got rid of the circle. You can see where it's hitting by the explosions, but they did get rid of the blue circle around a lot of the skills. It's not really something that was... I mean, it would have been nice to have had the blue circle, at least so I could see where it was landing, but I guess it doesn't really matter too much. And then if we turn down the visuals on the arrows, they do kind of look so plain. But it is what it is. They look funny. As long as we stand... See, Shadow Spark is random. It doesn't actually target specific enemies. So we have to stand near the enemy so that when it does randomly shoot in a certain direction, it will hit the bosses. But we do need more Doom. There we go. There we go. Damage. Doom. We just need to apply Doom. We don't need the Doom. Yeah, it's number of stacks of Doom, so that's fine. Do we need more magnetic? No, we don't. Cast frequency is fine. Disarray is fine. Don't need the cast frequency there. We'll grab that. I need more Doom. There's another one. That should have substantially increased our damage. Because applying more Doom, and then we got a 0.2 second cooldown skill, and we got a 0.5 second cooldown skill on the actual Doom skill. So I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but when you are or have a skill that doesn't remove stacks of Doom, or even if it does, the way the calculations work first is it applies the Doom and then it removes it. So the more of those stacks that you have of all attacks can now apply this. When it does apply a stack, it actually applies a lot of that stack. So the way the damage works is it isn't one stack deals this amount of damage. What happens is the game actually applies the relevant amount of stacks onto an enemy to apply that amount of Doom damage, let's say, because we're using Doom. We'll talk about that. So if I have to pause here and we go and look here, where is it? Over here, Fateful Strike is 31,738 Doom in total. That will probably be a certain amount of stacks of Doom on the boss at any given time. Obviously that damage will go up because you're going to be applying multiple stacks of the Doom, but that is if I had to hit an enemy once, it will apply. It's not going to be one stack of Doom is doing that amount of damage. I think it's actually like 6. I think that's on 16 stacks of Doom or something like that. So I don't know how many stacks it is actually, but it applies all those stacks in one hit onto the enemy, and then that's how it calculates the damage. It's not doing that per stack of Doom. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, damage over there. We do get a nice, beautiful multicast. We also get the aptitude, so we're gonna have to lock it. That's what I mean, the prowess. We've been looking for the prowess over there. We haven't really found many, but we did finally find one over here. Oh my goodness. See, this is the problem. This is where we need those locks. So it might be better. It depends what you're trying to get, what you're trying to achieve from the game. But it would have been probably, in this case, better to have had the endless refill. It would have helped us go a lot further. But at least we do get to the end of Overlord 6, I guess, before 20 minutes, which is fantastic. So let's go and grab that. Oh no, is it going to be a 21:47? All right, let's see if we can beat the timer. Let's focus up. I'm going to actually turn off auto casting. Auto aim, and then we should be able to kill things a lot faster this way, I think. At least the bosses will die a lot faster because we'll be focusing on them. Grab another Doom stack. We're going to do this as we level up. We'll add more damage. We need to kill them as quickly as possible. Doesn't really... See, the thing is, it doesn't matter if we have auto aim on or off because we got the ricochet. The Doom Spark, which is our damage dealer, is random anyway. So even if I'm standing on top of the boss, it doesn't necessarily mean that the Shadow Spark is going to hit the boss. So it is random. We just need to make sure that we're close enough to the bosses so that the skills hit them. We're going to do it even if we lose a revive, then that's okay as well. But we're trying to beat the time that the game set for us based on, I don't know what calculation, but based on some calculation. We've got 96% crit chance now as well, so that should help. That does mean that we are definitely critting every single, guaranteed, every single hit. They all died. No. Just not fast enough. That's so unfortunate. Go multicast. Okay, we did lose a revive over there. Down. The other two are down this side. We might lose another revive just on this last boss fight, but that's alright. And it looks like we're even going to be slower than the time said. Oh no, that's bad. Like being faster than the time or being on time is one thing, but being slower than the time, no, that's not allowed. That is unacceptable. Okay, there's one boss down. 2, he should die. 3, and she'll die. There we go, 4. Alright, so we didn't lose another revive. That's cool. 21 minutes, 48 seconds. I think that was pretty roughly on time. Maybe give or take a couple of seconds. But let's take, obviously, Shadow Spark dealing the most amount of damage there, or at least we hope it did. Definitely a whack ton more damage than everything else. That's very interesting to note. But that is it. So that was the build, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And always remember, keep safe, survivors. Until next time, cheers.